Once saved, always saved.
Depends on what you mean. That would be another issue.
So again, he won't even answer on the basics of Protestant teaching. I mean, what Protestant evangelical person doesn't have some position on this? And why would he not want to take a position? Doesn't this demonstrate that they are doing churchless apologetics on purpose to have the broadest appeal so as to not alienate anybody on any basic theological teaching?
Where I'd be like, okay, here's kind of the case for it. Here's the case against it. And I would say, yeah, if you're actually genuinely saved, I would think that, yeah, I get it. Like, if your name's in the Lamb's Book of Life or something like that, it would be weird to be erasing it because God, knows all this stuff from an eternal perspective. But how that would actually play out, because you got people like Bart Ehrman, who's a Christian for years and then all of a sudden leaves it. And so I don't know how you want to describe that, but notice you don't hear me saying it because I don't have firm positions on most of this stuff.
Real quick, Aaron.
So no firm positions as an apologist on the basics of Christian theology. How are we saved? What does it mean to be saved? Is justification by faith alone true? Where do I go to church? Doesn't matter. That's pretty wild, actually.
I was actually hoping, I was just calling because I noticed that David, you had some Orthodox on because you wanted to feel out what the position was of the Orthodox Church. I was actually hoping that I could do the same thing with you and see if I couldn't get a feeler for you.
Is this not a fair question? What the heck is this weirdo's church? Does he even have one? And no, we're not asking for his actual his address. Just what denomination, dude? There's no such thing as no church apologetic.
Your position
or any church apologetic
on several theological issues. Would you be willing to do that?
Wait a second. So we're gonna hold on. Let's make sure we're discussing things in Eastern Orthodoxy. We were told it's about theology, and you don't want to defend any doctrine?
Yeah. Well, hold on. We talk about your church right now. We don't ask no questions about us now. Don't ask no questions about us now.
Well, I don't understand. I just want to ask him a few things about his position.
Can I ask you a few things about yours?
Can I ask about yours? So these people are crazy, dude. And I keep trying to tell y'all, they're the lowest tier, dude. They're not even A tier. They're not B tier. They're not D tier. They're not on the tiers. They're underneath the bleachers, dude. These people are garbage tier, bro. All of them.
No, I came on here to ask him a few things about his.
See, David, you see what I'm talking about? Instant evidence. What did I tell you?
What?
David, he's not so strong anymore, right, David? We cracked him already. 30 seconds.
What do you mean?
Cracked him. By the way, look at that dude's, what is that dude's skincare routine? Okay, I want to know what Gay Pete Uncut's skincare routine is, because that dude has got the smoothest, sweetest girl skin over there. If he didn't have a beard, I'd be like, damn, boy, that chick fine right now. Who is this Latinx goddess right here? She looking fine right now. She a big booty Latina, maybe?
You don't know the religion.
Didn't David Wood just do an entire stream?
Here. Muller's right here.
Notice that all of these people will only talk about dumb shit. All they want to do is talk about drama and dumb shit. They will not talk about the issues. This is so transparent.
Okay, calm down.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Didn't he just do an entire stream trying to figure out what the positions were?
Sure. Hey, hold on. Let me say something, because I hate the framing. David's.
Dude, who are even all of these? Who's this random black dude down here looking like Ice-T, like Jim Bob said, looking like ghetto Ice-T? We got freaking Gay P up there in the corner looking like, what is he? He looks like a damn, like if Eddie Bravo had a beard and was gay. Then we got this black dude down in the corner looking like ghetto Ice-T, looking like ghetto he looks like Ice-T if Ice-T had been drinking sugar-filled iced tea for the last 10 years. That's Ice-T on iced tea, right? And then we got David Wood up in the corner looking like damn Waldo up there. Who's that dude in the middle? Oh, by the way, isn't this the whole like former gangster ethos, right? All of these dudes, oh, we was former cholo gangster, bro. Hey, dude, we was like totally homies or whatever, and then like we saw the model, the Ruslan's Raptors, bro, and then we figured out we could make bank, bro. That's how we just bodied everybody from our gamer chair, dude. Just fucking sit in my gamer chair in my blank ass apartment. Dude's in a blank apartment. Ain't got nothing on the walls. And who's ever been to a Latino house with nothing on the walls? Dude's in the corner. Like he got put in timeout. JP's arguments are so bad, he unconsciously put himself in the corner in timeout because he knows it's no good, dude. He knows it's garbage.
I know nothing of Eastern Orthodoxy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch a video and let actual Eastern Orthodox respond.
Right.
David giving his minimal.
That's what I want to do too.
Please stop cutting me off. You have a bad habit.
I want to do the
You
same
want to give
thing.
him minimal expertise on it, so he's trying
Please
to
go
learn.
fuck yourself.
So now I would
don't
like
care
to
about cutting you
ask
off,
you some
dipshit.
questions about you.
Hold on.
Dude, Ice-T need to chill out, man. Ice-T went right into cop killer mode. Remember Ice-T? Cop killer. Ice-T's a boomer now. He done snapped. He went back and he dissociated, went back into 1991 cop killer mode.
Hold on.
I'm a Christian.
Hold on, HHS.
what if
Yo,
fucking-
I wanna know.
what-
I
hold
won't
on.
know. I
Hold
don't
on.
care.
Exactly. All you got to do is impersonate these dudes and they will lose their mind.
Hold on,
came here for a
HHS. Yo,
specific
I
reason.
don't care why you here. You want to
chill out. Yo, Andrew.
Oh, yo, Andrew, bro. By the way, I'd like to know the actual gang history of these people because it's the same as Ruslan, right? Ruslan, like, yo, I was in a gang, yo. I was a teenager in a gang, living a gang life, bro. I got sent to detention. He's like, I got sent to detention, dude, and picked up a chick track, dog. That's how I started reading the Bible, bro. Yo, I was a hard gang banger, dude. I mean, like, I'm talking about like Sour Patch Kids was going up missing. Nobody knew who done it. I'm talking about like the teacher had to give me a paddling one time and I got like 4 extra legs, dog. I was hardcore living that banger life, dog.
It's a Christian channel, man. Please don't cuss. All right, so you want to ask David Wood some questions?
What's the determination of cuss word, by the way? Why is poop okay, but shit is not? Please explain that. Give me a coherent answer for that.
About theology?
I just want to see if I can.
Who cannot realize these people are just idiots? They're actually just idiots. They don't know anything. In fact, if it turns out, I'm not saying that they are because I don't know, but if it turns out that they're actually a bunch of just grifter or fed people just stirring up crap for I'll actually respect it more than if they're actually just dumb, just actual St. Dunning-Kruger goobers.
Ask him. I'm not even going to ask him about his theology necessarily, have him defend it. I'm not even looking to debate it.
Oh, okay.
I just want to figure out what some of his positions are.
Why can't we get his, bro? Why do we always have to
Hang on. If you'll chill out.
Dude, if he said he's Orthodox, then you ought to already know what his positions are, if you even know the basics. So why can't David Wood say what his church is in terms of the basics?
Right? You can ask me, same thing. What's your position? I'll give you my position. I'll ask you, what's your position? Give me your position, right? No, we don't even have to debate. We'll just get the positions on record. That seems fair, right?
And by the way, saying a bunch of heretical nonsense is actually 10 times worse than saying the word shit, okay?
Yeah.
And I've never heard a convincing argument as to why shit is bad, because all the same people will say, no, you could say the brown stuff that emits from the bottom, and you can say the poop that comes out of the bottom hole, but if you say the word shit, you are a sinner.
Well, I guess if David's okay with it, so then the prompt here is the reason that you're here is you want to know if David has a certain understanding.
Who cannot see that this is all meta debating? It's all debating about debating. That's the number one faking gay tactic of everybody faking gay. Who cannot see this? This is all that they've done. This is all I've never even seen them do anything else. I mean, I know David Wood has only done anti-Islamianity podcasts for a zillion years, but this is all a meltdown because people just want to know, dude, what's your position? What church are you even defending?
Or a certain view that's similar to yours?
No, it's actually, I don't actually know what any of this guy's positions are. I've been looking and looking and looking. And I don't actually
Is it on
know.
any of the topics, the
Well, we have to ask BB what the positions are.
Eastern Orthodox topics or the teachings?
What do you mean?
Yeah, so what we're covering tonight, is it on anything on those topics that we've been covering, or is it just something off the...
Hey, dude, we ain't gonna answer none of your questions, bro, because like in the title it just says talking about hating on the Ortho bros, dude. So look, homie, like maybe you barely gotta like get a little bit nicer or whatever. Like, hey, bro, no 4-letter words, dude.
Wall, left field, or what are we talking about?
Well, wait a second. No, I don't think it has much to do with Eastern Orthodoxy, no.
Oh,
But
okay.
the purpose for me calling in wasn't for that. The purpose was for me to respectfully request if I could just ask to get some of the positions on record. So I know
I
what
mean,
they are.
David's his own man. If he wants to answer, go for it.
Yeah, but after David tells you his position, can Moeller ask you a question?
Sure.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, David. Tell us. Are you a Unitarian, a oneness, or a Trinitarian, David? I don't.
Am I
What
going to
was
be
the-
allowed
who's
to?
the question?
I'm sorry. Am I
Andrew's
going to be allowed to
asking
ask
the
the
question.
questions?
Oh, okay.
Or- so I was wondering if we could start with the position. Do you believe in the 5 solas?
Kind of rough, because I think in terms of probabilities, that's kind of the issue. That's why you don't.
So David Wood doesn't even know if, as a Protestant evangelical, he affirms the solas, and he says he thinks in terms of probabilities. What does that have to do with whether or not you believe that the New Testament teaching is sola fide, sola gratia. I mean, that's just bizarre.
Hear me, and that's why I don't go around kind of
So he can't even say if he believes the minimal Protestant doctrines.
dogmatically defending certain positions. Like as far as I can tell, like most people, they say, okay, the evidence I have points in this direction, so I'm going to go with that position. Whereas me, I'm thinking generally, okay, the evidence I'm aware of points in this direction, but there's all kinds of evidence that I may not be aware of. So I may
So as a Protestant evangelical, doesn't even know if he believes the basics of Protestant evangelicalism.
not be, I mean, I may be, it may, learning the extra evidence may point in a different direction. So I don't know, things have to reach a certain threshold before I'll start actually advocating them. So
Do you believe in them?
I'm saying I'm open to presenting otherwise,
Is
but I
that
generally
yes?
don't.
No?
Is that a yes or a no?
No. Okay. No.
He answered already. Now, Mola, you have a
Yeah,
question?
real quick, Andrew. Do you know what the 5 solas are?
No idea. I have no.
Okay.
Clue.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So then,
By the way, Andrew's being joking because Andrew is a former Calvinist. Of course, he does know the solas.
David, once saved, always saved.
Depends on what you mean, but that would be another issue.
So again, he won't even answer on the basics of Protestant teaching. I mean, what Protestant evangelical person doesn't have some position on this? And why would he not want to take a position? Doesn't this demonstrate that they are doing churchless apologetics on purpose to have the broadest appeal so as to not alienate anybody on any basic theological teaching?
Where I'd be like, okay, here's kind of the case for it. Here's the case against it. And I would say, yeah, if you're actually genuinely saved, I would think that, yeah, I get it. Like, if your name's in the Lamb's Book of Life or something like that, it would be weird to be erasing it because God, knows all this stuff from an eternal perspective. But how that would actually play out, because you got people like Bart Ehrman, who's a Christian for years, and then all of a sudden leaves it. And so I don't know how you want to describe that. But notice you don't hear me saying it because I don't have firm positions on most of this stuff.
Real quick, Andrew.
So no firm positions as an apologist on the basics of Christian theology. How are we saved? What does it mean to be saved? Is justification by faith alone true? Where do I go to church? Doesn't matter. That's pretty wild, actually. Rachel, what did you want to say?
Yeah, I was just coming in with some breaking news. Andrew was thinking earlier that it was very strange that David Wood and these guys got so upset with you for just simply saying the word bingo to a Muslim and that it started all this. And he was just like, he couldn't figure it out. This is how his brain works. He's like, this doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Why is there now this grand conspiracy of Orthodox in cahoots with Muslims to get these guys when there's no evidence of that? Jay didn't even know any of this stuff. He's like, something else is going on here. And he was thinking about how, David Wood and AP and a lot of these dudes have sponsorships or funding from Zionist organizations. So during his chill stream just a little while ago, which you wouldn't have been able to see because you're doing your space, he saw that David Wood and that JP Uncut guy and 2 other bozos were doing a YouTube live. So Andrew asked if he could join and ask them a few questions.
Yeah, I streamed it.
And
I just streamed it.
Yeah. He joined their stream.
Right.
And asked them some questions. And they did a back and forth, hey, David Wood, if I ask you, hey,
Yes.
do you believe, then you can ask me one back and we'll go back and forth so that we can find each other's positions on things. Because Andrew's like, I don't know a single position this guy has on theology, politics, nothing. I can't think of a single position that I know this guy holds. After 20 years of doing apologetics, I guess, right? He just, in all that time, he never got curious, I suppose. And so he asked him just basic stuff like, do you believe in faith alone, grace alone? Do you believe in sacraments? Do you think baptism is necessary? Do you believe in PSA, the virgin birth? Just a series of questions. And every time David would basically give a super vague answer oh, I kind of lean towards it or I'm not sure. He just refused to commit on anything.
Right.
So Andrew did the same thing back. He did the same thing back. So they'd ask him, well, what do you believe? Do you believe in PSA? And he'd go, I don't know. What's that? I don't know. And these goofballs, first of all, didn't even understand what Andrew was doing. They actually thought he was just dumb and
No, I was
stuff.
streaming Andrew on there, and I said Andrew is playing their game back to them.
Yes. I didn't know that you were streaming.
Yeah, I was streaming it. Yeah.
I didn't know that you were doing that, but yeah. And so when Andrew got off with them, he was like, holy shit, Jay vindicated again. Jay figured this out, that these guys it is apparently, in fact, a grift, because how are you doing apologetics for 2 decades and you have no position on anything theological? You have no position on anything political, but you're in a battle to save the West from Islam. Like, what on earth is this? What is this? It's so crazy.
Well,
And
again,
these dudes just came unglued.
again, and everybody knows I think Sam Shamoon is a loon, but Sam Shamoon also was correct on this point, because he has been working with these people and he figured out, hey, wait a minute, how come David Wood doesn't know anything about anything other than anti-Islamianity? And then they had their beef, and that led to Shamoon figuring out that actually David Wood intentionally will never talk about any other topic because it would expose the problems. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm pro Sam Shalloon because I'm over here saying that he's correct on this point. Like,
Right.
everybody's got to recognize that people can get things wrong and they can get things right. Like, everybody can. All of us are going to get some things wrong.
I think the only logical conclusion you can make from that, because it's totally insane, that would be like if I wrote all these books against feminism and I knew nothing about like patriarchy whatsoever. I just had no clue. People could ask me the most basic questions, because his excuse was like, oh, I just don't trust myself to learn those things. I don't trust myself to figure it out, so I just don't even bother. I just don't even try. And Andrew is like, there's no way. This is definitely Andrew thinks it's a political strategy, that these guys are propped up by Zionists, they're funded by Zionists, and their whole job now is to basically accuse Orthodox of being in league with Muslims, which would probably work on a lot of evangelicals, because they're just like, oh, Orthodoxy is Middle Eastern and weird, and Islam is Middle Eastern and weird, so they must be on the same team against us good American Zionist evangelicals.
Yeah, even though Russia was one of the main opponents of ISIS in the last 20 years.
Yeah, well, you don't have to go that deep with most of the evangelicals. They don't know any of this stuff. So Andrew I think he's kind of thinking this is like it's ultimately like a political thing that these guys are doing more than
yes,
a religious thing whatsoever. So I just thought it was interesting to watch that.
Actually, I think
play out
that
in
makes
real
more
time.
sense.
And it's like, I don't believe for a second that you can have a show called Apologetics Roadshow and be doing this for 2 decades and just go, yeah, I have a PhD in other things, and I know everything about every Muslim hadith, but I don't trust myself to understand Christian theology, so I just don't try. That does not make sense. Something is super.
Well, the other thing
up
too
with
that's
that
odd
guy.
is, and remember, David Wood comes out of Fordham University, and Fordham is the hub of Jesuit subversion of the Orthodox world through trying to make it fake and gay on record for decades. So it's not surprising to
True.
me that Wood comes out of Fordham, and eventually when he encounters basic opposition about churchless apologetics, suddenly the Orthodox are the bad guys.
Yep. Crazy
Great
stuff.
point.
Anyway,
Yeah, I appreciate Andrew going on there, and I think this is very effective.
Metal monkey.